So next in our interviews with MHKs, we've got Ralph Peake for Douglas North, and of course you got in on a by-election, I think 15 months.
That's right.
So this is your first full term. But you've had that chance to look at things from before and now. First of all, you weren't put off from the by-election, from your time there to stand again. You kind of knew this was for you, did you?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I really enjoyed that period, around about 15 months when I got in that by-election up to the general election. And I served in 2 departments, Department of Health and Social Care, along with DEFA. And I really enjoyed both of those things. So yes, I was really felt as though I could contribute and actually scrutinise and offer my business experience and actually look forward to standing and getting in.
And what was your thing on the doorstep? Did you have a particular thing that people liked you for it because you were hammering home a certain policy?
Well, what I could actually see, using my business experience, was actually how to grow the economy. You know, that's really important. You know, once we can actually get that working together, being positive, attract investors here. I mean, government shouldn't be seen as the investor of last resort. It should try and create an environment where the private sector investors want to actually invest.
Yeah, but you're a businessman, you've gone into government, and how many people have told me that this is quite a culture shock? Things happen differently. They happen slower.
They do happen differently, you're right, and people often say that to me, but one of the things that is very similar is that you've got workforce, you've got people who actually come in and want to do a good job, so it's all about leadership. So it's really important to have a clear vision and communicate that to the team, create that want to actually help to make things better. And you can start looking then at how you can actually be efficient and it'd be effective. And that's the same in a big organisation, whether it's a PLC, whether it's government, or even a small private company.
What have your successes been? Have you got anything that you put through this year, your first year, that you particularly wanted to see happen?
I was delighted to be offered the opportunity to be in Treasury, and I've really enjoyed my time there. I've come up to a year now. And we've definitely brought some challenge and some scrutiny, levels of scrutiny, which certainly the officers have welcomed. Perhaps a level of scrutiny that hasn't been there for a while. So
you're going through all this line by line, all this subvention money and things that you have to pay out for all the time, I guess, because Treasury is the one that makes the checks.
You're right, but it's about that sort of mindset and how you look at things and how you can actually challenge things in a sensible way and what you're actually trying to achieve. So it's about having tough policies and being able to stand firm with those clear policies and really be firm on those, and so you can actually get those delivered. So it's really important to have a team of people with different attributes. So we've got Bill Henderson, we've got Bill Shimmons, and we've got the ministers.
Okay, I mean it's one of the top jobs to be in Treasury, but you didn't get a ministerialship, and I think some people might have questioned that. You had been there before, you got a track record. You say you're a businessman. Do you think it had anything to do with? I think you went with Alf Canton as the chief minister option. Do you think you got penalised on that one?
I don't know, and I'm very happy with the position I've got in Treasury. I was happy to support Alfred Cannon, and I've worked with the Chief Minister, Howard Quayle, in the Department of Health, and that was great. I got along with them really well.
Yeah, but were you disappointed not to be made a minister?
Not disappointed at all. I'm really happy to contribute what I'm
doing. Let me
doing.
try this one. Do you want to be a minister?
Well, again, that's not for me to decide.
No, do you want to be a minister? I'm not asking other people. I'm saying, would you, Ralph Peake, like to take on a position as a minister?
I've always taken the role I've been offered. If people can see how I can benefit from that, I'm happy to say
Such
yes.
a political answer. Yes or no? Would you like to be a minister?
Yeah, I'd be happy to do that.
Fine, that's good. Clear it up. So, challenges ahead. Do you want to stay in Treasury, or do you see yourself wanting somewhere else? If you were given a ministership, for instance, what would you like?
Well, again,
you'll take whatever you get. I know, but what would you like?
It's one of those things, because I was lucky enough to be in 2 other departments, and the workload in Treasury is immense, but it does give you a very good understanding of how government runs and how the departments do interact and the opportunities there are. I mean, there's some great things working in Treasury now, how we're actually going to lead the way, how we can lead the way in being efficient and effective. Right. So because I'm learning an awful lot.
Everything was silo mentality apparently in the previous one, so you've seen that. Now you're in there. Are things better? Are people talking? I mean, they've certainly got to talk to you, I keep saying, at the end of the day. Is it on the right path?
We're definitely on the right path. There's a lot more work that needs to be done, and Treasury will, I'm confident, be able to actually give a blueprint on how actually it should run much better.
Now, being a businessman, did you have to give up other work to do? Is MHK a full-time job for you?
It's definitely a full-time job for me. I chose to really immerse myself in that, which I was happy to do, and so I have sold my business interests here in Douglas. And again, it's a great opportunity then for the manager who brought it on. And
you're going to say you took a pay cut. I mean, you're doing it. I mean, why are you in government? What made you do it? What's your drive?
The reason you do change as you get older. You know, I've got 3 boys now, and you start looking at the world differently. And I've learned a lot, and I felt as though I could actually contribute and reach more people by actually taking on this role. I've been very lucky in the business I had. I always felt I could actually improve people's lives by being creative and actually delivering a much better home environment or work environment, and actually improve their life that way. I really felt that and used to get comments on that. And this is really an extension of that. I really believe that I can offer my experience to actually improve more people's lives this way. I'm really enjoying it.
What have you got on the map for this next year then? Are you pushing anything particularly? I mean, you know, where's Ralph Peake going?
Right. Oh, I mean, got responsibility in 2 of the areas of Treasury. One is the social security area, so we're looking to have a welfare reform on that. We've been making some great announcements this autumn, but I'm also got political responsibilities for customs and excise. So, you know, that's a very exciting, high revenue earner for the Isle of Man, and we've got great potential there to get those levels increased. So it's very interesting, both those works. One is actually £350 million coming in, and the other is actually millions of pounds going out by way of pensions and benefits to the people who really need it.
And once you got on the inside, you know, you saw the figures. Have you been staggered with things? I mean, are there things that you really think need to be still sorted urgently almost?
Well, yeah, there's urgent and there's important. It's very, very important.
Are there things you want to see changed?
Yeah, there are things that we want to be changed, and I think, as I say, going back to the team mentality we've actually got in Treasury now, I think that's working very well, and we're becoming quite effective at challenging and actually, you know, changing the course. And it's really important, as I say, to get things in the right direction and create that mindset where people actually do want to help you and reach a much better solution for the island.
So when Mr. Cannon reads out his budget, how much of that will have Mr. Peake in it?
It's a team effort, you know.
But you have your things.
Obvious.
Bill Shipman's like want to do the bikes, isn't he? You know, that's something he wanted to do.
Yeah.
Have you got things that you?
Well, it's about being effective, to be honest. About having some leadership in there, and it's about getting the divisions and the departments together to really have a good, strong leadership and really believe what that leader wants, have a clear vision. And we're really looking forward to this budget. You know, really work starts on that in October, and we'll be working very hard right the way past Christmas.
How much stealth business will be going again? We keep hearing that, you know, there's always this, but then there's extra, like prescriptions and those sort of things. Everything that is hitting everybody. I mean, are you aware of that and conscious of that when you're doing your part of it?
Yeah, I think the Treasury Minister's made no secret that he would actually like to see a lot of those costs actually be announced at one time. So I think that would be a really great move for people in households to actually be able to understand what they're facing for the next 12 months. So that would enable them to sort of plan their finances much better. And I think that would be a great move, and I fully support him on that. Okay,
time for some numbers. How do you rate yourself this year, out of 10?
Oh, well, I know I've put an awful lot of effort in, so I'm very pleased with that. I think it's early days, you know, 1 year into Treasury. I'd be happy to stay in Treasury, but I think, you know, you just start out with a 6 for now.
6? That's quite low.
I think it's one of those things where
you're beating yourself up, I think, a bit. I know, obviously, we know each other, but the fact is you're very dedicated, I think. Yeah. So 6 sounds quite low, but you're treating yourself harsh, that's fine.
Well, it's about taking your responsibility seriously, and I do that, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to do this. So, yeah, a 6, which I want to sort of build on, definitely.
And the government, out of 10?
I think I saw 15 months of the last House. Delighted to be a part of this. I learned a lot in the last House from some people who've been in a long time, so I was grateful for that. I think we've got off to a good start. I think we've delivered on a number of things, but this next year is going to be really key. I mean, the budget's going to be key for that, and then decisions around that and how to stick together. But I think the House at this moment's got off about 7 out of 10, I think.
5. And I suppose your relationship with Mr. Quayle, did you see much of him? I mean, you know, being one of the key departments, you must see. Things okay? You
good relationship, yeah, absolutely. And he certainly asked me to look at a few things for him, which I've delivered back to him. So yeah, great, and I definitely support what he's doing.
And I think the only thing I'm left to ask is about, are you a career politician? If you've seen any of these videos, that question gets thrown in most times. I mean, do you still? I know it's 4 years away, but do you like what doing that? I mean, Private sector or public sector for you?
I love the private sector. I've really enjoyed using the skills I've learned over those years in the private sector and actually delivering them. So I've enjoyed it at the moment, but we'll just wait to see how effective I become. This will actually be a big test, this next budget, making sure we get a budget that we can deliver to the people, they can understand and see that we're on the right path. So that's going to be key. And if we can do that and deliver a positive and give people the hope and that there is a positive future for them, then I'm very happy.